Good morning, friends of the Lansing Journal. It is another beautiful morning in Lansing, and Josh and I are here for another weekly roundup.
That's right. Good morning, everybody.
This week we thought we would do sort of an advertiser roundup. One of the services the Lansing Journal provides is local advertising. We offer a local space where local organizations can reach local customers, and we offer local information to those readers. So that's an important service for the business community and for our readers, but it's also important for us as a small business. Advertisers pay to have a space on our website, and that income is what funds the reporting that we do.
That's right. Obviously, we used to be in print, right? And we were online and in print. We are no longer in print regularly. The way the ads are in a print newspaper is very different than the way they are on an online site, right?
Yeah.
Have people ever commented that they don't like the online ad experience? How have you experienced that?
You're right, it is different, and I want to thank all of the advertisers who made that switch with us. Most of our advertisers were used to being in print, so when the pandemic happened and people had to make changes to the way they do business, we all sort of switched to emphasizing online, and
Right.
the Lansing Journal did that too. And so I'm grateful that so many of our advertisers made that switch, and I think that a lot of them discovered that there are a lot of benefits to advertising online that are not available in print. I love, for one thing, being able to send reports to our advertisers
Yeah,
that tell them exactly how many views,
right.
how many clicks they're getting on that ad. And we can even tell them where those clicks are coming from, the towns that those clicks are coming from. That's valuable information to an advertiser.
When you have a physical paper, you know the quantity that you're mailing.
Right.
But once they get delivered to the mailbox, you really don't know what's going on beyond that. So
Right.
to have that detailed information is really cool and valuable. So have people told you specifically that I don't like the way your ads are set up on your site, or I think there are too many ads? If they have, how have you explained the way that the ads work online to someone like that?
People say, wow, you have so many ads on your site. I say, yeah, isn't that fantastic? That means we have so many businesses who want to reach our community, and we have so many businesses who are willing to support this local newspaper. And they're not all businesses. We have a few churches who advertise, the library advertises. So those are all important community organizations who have something they want to say to our community, and we appreciate them partnering with us to reach our readers. I hope that as you're reading news on the Lansing Journal, you're also paying attention to those ads, because those are local organizations. That's what makes a community strong, when you have strong businesses and people who shop local. So we're excited to be part of that, and I'm hoping for more ads, actually.
There you go. Breaking news. The ad salesperson would like more ads. The Lansing Journal is one of many members of the Chamber of Commerce, and as such we have the privilege of going to different chamber events and interacting with other members of the chamber. And it's been a real privilege for me to talk to different business owners, to learn about their struggles, especially during this pandemic year. It's been really interesting to talk to all these different businesses, because everyone has experienced this current place and time differently.
Right.
And I know that those events, you and I are always energized by them, and you for ad sales purposes, and me for content purposes, because there's so many good story ideas that come out of those chamber events. So
Josh and I have separate roles at the Lansing Journal, but those roles are interdependent.
yeah,
The purpose of the paper is to provide information, but what fuels that is the advertising.
right.
And to me, the advertisers are another way of providing information.
Right.
We did not write a story about the Loop bike ride this year,
Right.
but we did publish an advertisement so that people could still know about it. It's just another way of getting information out there.
Yeah. And so by way of information, that Loop bike ride, if you're watching this on Saturday morning, Loop bike ride occurs on Saturday afternoon, and ends at the Lansing Municipal Airport, with always a fun way to end that bike ride on the
runway.
The runway is the word I'm looking for.
If you want to bike on a runway, this is your only chance, probably.
Yes.
Only in Lansing.
That's happening tomorrow. It brings avid bikers from out of town to come to Lansing and travel around Lansing on their bikes. So it's a very cool event.
Yeah.
So a piece of content that I want to tell you about that's going to impact people in Lansing, you received it in Saturday morning's email, and it's about a project that involves the Lansing Levee. Lansing is prone to flooding, and that's because partially the Little Calumet River it's the northern border of Lansing, the northeast part of Lansing. So what Lansing has asked the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in partnership with Calumet City to do is to look into how they can bolster the existing levee. And so a proposed project, it's still a proposed project at this point, is to do a multi-million-dollar reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Lansing levee system, starting from the border of Lansing and Munster and going all the way to Burnham Avenue. So that will affect Lansing residents, and you can read the story in Saturday morning's email for more information on that, but that's an important thing that will affect many residents in Lansing.
And Josh, I want to thank you for reporting on that. You know, when people hear the word levee, it's not sexy news, it's not exciting, it's not dramatic. It was a meeting.
Right.
But a lot of important information happened at that meeting. And so rather than wait for the levee to collapse and do an exciting story about it, you are there ahead of time,
Right,
reporting on why that's important to Lansing.
And this plan is still a tentative plan, and that's why I wanted to get this story out before September 20, because September 20 is the deadline for public comment. If you have comments on that and would like to speak your mind about how that will affect you or in support of it, go ahead and do that. I also want to point to a piece that Ernest Lamothe wrote about Walkover Wednesdays, and that was a really fun story. That's a cool event that First United Methodist Church has started, and now because of COVID has largely adapted to meet the needs of students in the current day and age at TF South. So
it's nice that program can continue. I applaud First United Methodist Church for the creative way they are being involved in their community.
We had another story this week, Melanie, from freelancer Jim Masters, who is our education beat reporter, who always does a great job of covering Lansing schools. And that story details the different career development programs that are available to District 215 students. So District 215 has established a new barbering and cosmetology program that's at TF North, and TF South students will get bussed up for that. There's a new education program for students who already know that they want to go into the education field, and they can jumpstart their career. And just yesterday, I was actually able to go to an open house for the new electrical program that's going to be based at the TF Center of Academics and Technology, just across the border of Lansing and Calumet City on Wentworth Avenue. And that is a really cool program that teaches high school students the basics of electrical work. State Rep William Davis was there as well, and also he spoke about the importance of recognizing that some kids don't want to go to college, and that doesn't mean that they aren't getting good grades. It doesn't mean that they aren't smart enough to go to college. It means that they want to do something else with their life that involves working with their hands, or doing barbering, or being a teacher, you know? So it was really cool. So I think all that's left for today's video is just to preview what's happening next weekend in Lansing. Big stuff.
Next weekend, September 24, 25, and 26, that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Autumn Fest returns.
The return.
LACE, the Lansing Association for Community Events, reached out to us to see if we could help get the word out about Autumn Fest, and I think the package that we came up with is a nice combination of advertising and content, and it's a good example of how the Lansing Journal partners with local organizations who have important information to share with not just Lansing but the surrounding community. So when Debbie Waitkus from LACE called to ask about advertising in the Lansing Journal, I had to let her know that we did not have a September print issue planned, but she and I worked together to figure out how to do a print ad for them. So we're putting together like a super mini Lansing Journal just for Autumn Fest.
That's right.
And by super mini, I mean 2 pages, front and back. So the front will be the story that Josh has written about Autumn Fest, and the back will be the map with all of the schedule for the 3 days and the map and the list of sponsors. We wondered if there was a way to do that digitally, to make a digital ad that people could view on their phones, but it's such a big space and a big map that we decided to do print for them.
Yeah.
So we were able to accommodate their request, and we're kind of excited to be in print, in mini print for the weekend. Also, they are doing some digital ads. They're going to put an ad in your daily news email next week, so look for that and click on it. Those clicks count.
And there will be some content about Autumn Fest coming up this week as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So Josh is writing a lot of the content. I helped with the ads, and it's just a great example of how both content and advertising are helping a local organization reach the community with important information.
Yeah. So that's next weekend at Fox Point. The weather so far appears to be looking good. We'll cross our fingers on that one.
Pick up your mini copy of the Lansing Journal at Autumn Fest.
That's right.
It's a nice quick read.
That's right. So maybe we'll see you there. And certainly, Lansing, have a good week.
Thanks for watching.